In December every year, I try to assess my life, not just financial anyway. I assess my life spiritually, physically, and financially. I assess my family, my relationship with my wife and children. I do this because I want to improve on my life every year. I want to do small things to improve on the way I relate with my wife, on the way I relate with my children, on the way I relate with my money, which is very important. The unexamined life is not worth living. And that is why I think that it's important we always check our lives and examine our lives and see whether we are making improvement. If you don't check your life, whether you're making improvement, but you may think that you are excelling, but you may not be excelling. And that's what we're talking about today. If you have not subscribed to this channel, yes, it's a good time to subscribe to receive notification whenever I upload a new video. You can as well like or share this video. Now, I'm talking about examining your life. In December every year, I start planning the year ahead. So we are in December 2025. I've started thinking about my spiritual life for 2026. I've started thinking about my relationship life, my relationship with my wife, my relationship with my children, my relationship with God. I've already mentioned the spiritual aspect. And then I also plan my financial life. I think that if you are intentional with these things, it makes you a better person every year. I look back from January 2025 till today, I've seen huge improvement in my life. What is good about this thing is that because I plan the year spiritually, when there are spiritual challenges, I know how to deal with it because I've prepared myself spiritually. If I before because I planned ahead financially. I know how to deal with financial issues when they come up. And that is why I think that if you are intentional about your life, physically, spiritually, and financially, you don't leave any aspect out because life is more spiritual than physical. But it doesn't mean you focus only on spiritual and leave the physical. You deal with the physical, you deal with the spiritual, and you deal with the financial. And I plan on all these areas because I believe that they are all important and I don't leave anyone out. That's why I'm also encouraging you today that if you have not started planning to 2026, then start preparing because you don't want to enter the year 1st January. That's why you start talking about my new Year resolutions. It doesn't work like that because if there are resolutions, you have to plan. How are you going to achieve them? Systems must be put in place. A lot of my life has been based on proper planning because I believe that if I'm not intentional about my life, nothing will happen. And so, if you have not thought about 2026, I'm encouraging you to start planning for your spiritual life for 2026. Start thinking about your relationships for 2026. Start thinking about your financial life for 2026. And start thinking about all other aspects, your academic life. It's very important. As a student, you must think about academic life. It's important we do these things because if you live your life anyhow, you are going to struggle. If your family has been struggling in 2025, you must strategically plan for 2026. If you have been struggling financially in 2025, you must start thinking about 2026, how you are going to live a life without any financial struggle. If you have been struggling spiritually in 2025, you have to start planning so that you don't struggle financially. But these will not come automatically. They must be done intentionally. And that's why small habits are very important. But I'm not going to talk about them now. It will be in my next video. But what I'm saying is that start thinking and planning for the upcoming year, 2026. If you want to succeed, if you want to excel, if you want to be on top of the game, physically, spiritually, and financially, then I encourage you to start thinking about these things. Plan your physical life, plan your relationships, plan your financial life, and plan your spiritual life. I'm Kusia Champon. God bless you for watching.